Jionge Wanse da TV.
Kariman leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Kariman leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Paik leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Paik leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Jabiasak leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Jabiasak leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
Jabiasak leye.
Hey, leye Jionge Wanse da TV.
The spellbinding beauty of the misty mountain ridges gives the area an aura of mystery and magic. But beneath the beauty and the splendor of the mountains lies a deep and sad secret. Betty Chaboy cannot enjoy the freshness and beauty of the romantic mountains. She can neither walk nor stand. She was not born lame or handicapped. Her condition has left her helpless and destitute. The Sabiny people and their Kenyan cousins, the Sebei, who inhabit the slopes of Mount Elgon, have practiced female genital mutilation or cutting for centuries. Some of the immediate dangers of female genital mutilation have been identified as severe pains and trauma after the operation, overbleeding, urinary tract and other related infections, including HIV/AIDS, as a result of shared unsterilized circumcision instruments.
I was normal before I got circumcised. So when I got circumcised, I developed now sickness until my legs became very stiff and I could not walk any longer. Even right now I can't stand. It was by force by them who are forced to take circumcision.
There is now a deliberate advocacy initiative by the government and the community with support of the UNFPA to stamp out negative cultural practices which discriminate, abuse and injure women, like female genital mutilation.
As I have this small business of mine, I would like to get some cash so that I enlarge my business. And on top of that, I would like also my children to be helped educational, because they are now at school. And you get a problem when they want to go to school.
Female genital cutting has also been found to be a contributing factor to teenage pregnancies, school dropouts and early marriages.
The thing that made me reject the practice was there were some few ladies who had started campaigning against the practice. And that was the late Jessica and then Kuka, then Francis Kuka, who was our former minister. So when we heard about the campaigning about the thing, our minds started getting open. But previously it used to look as if it was usual and normal.
The messages have been integrated into traditional folk songs and dances, which are performed widely in schools and community functions.
When you are not circumcised, they don't allow you to milk the animals. 2, they don't allow you to collect the cow dung. And 3, they don't allow you to climb the granaries.
The core messages have been delivered by the girl child herself.
Don't mutilate me. Happy grandma, happy grandma, happy grandma, don't mutilate me.
We have found out, most especially we teachers, we have found out that the victims of this female genital cutting are the dropouts, either because of fees or because they failed in standard 7.
REACH, an acronym for the Reproductive, Educative and Community Health Program, has been working closely with schools as well as the community through the Elders Association in its advocacy programs to eliminate female genital mutilation.
The Elders Association is an association which was formed in 1992 by the elders, both male and female, of the Sabiny community. One of their main purpose or objective was to fight against female genital mutilation, which was very rampant and very critical to their daughters.
We elders saw that parents demanded wealth from these two girls, and that wealth by cows which they bring in, and then the age mates, we said that culture we cannot continue with it, because we should find other ways of getting income and not from the girl during this exercise of mutilation. And then we said we should reduce also dowry, come down, so that it is affordable.
The REACH program has been using a number of strategies in the elimination of female genital cutting in Kapchorwa. Yeah, at the inception we developed a peer educator strategy. Here we recruited young girls, circumcision age girls, teenage girls as our peer educators. And these were mainly school-going girls. We interviewed them and we trained them as change agents for the program, both in the villages and while at schools.
Cultural myths and beliefs take long to die, especially amongst the older and more traditional members of the society. The key to the success of the program lies with the girl child herself. Through advocacy efforts and peer education in schools under the auspices of the Sabiny Elders Association and REACH, female genital mutilation has now been eliminated completely in all high schools in Kapchorwa district.
They did a lot of work for the campaign, to the extent that as we speak today, from 1996, no student has ever gone for the practice.
We have educated the traditional birth attendants. We have trained so far over 300 people, old mothers, who are helping in the rural areas to mothers, pregnant mothers, to deliver successfully.
The other strategy that we've used and has been very successful is the introduction of the Culture Day.
The Cultural Day has been a focal point for celebrating the Sabiny culture and indigenous knowledge, while at the same time reflecting and discussing specific negative cultural practices. The biggest challenge now is how to maintain the momentum gathered and the gains made.
People display the traditional food, the traditional war equipment, the traditional war house equipment, traditional clothing. All this is shown so that we promote our good cultural practices. And in addition, we've revived even traditional dances, storytelling, Sabiny proverbs.
We looked at the international instruments, particularly the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and specifically on the Convention against all forms of discrimination against women, and also the Convention for the rights of the child. And when we looked at them, we thought that the practices that we subject our women and the children actually contravene those international instruments.
We support the changes of culture for betterment of living. But the culture which is harmful, which is misleading and is dangerous, should not be allowed to exist, should be stopped without giving room for such a culture to continue.
Grandma, don't mutilate me. Happy grandma, happy.
When a woman is circumcised, there will be a scar of which it will become so difficult that during delivery there will be no expansion when a child is coming out. Then that one will lead to some cutting in order to allow the child to come outside.
It has been proven that it is difficult to legislate against culture.
Kunyale kimaje manangale gari igdondi gane rik joni dai diago waburania almdangale gari ndago almdale akas ngit aworit chitandi ganje ba workshops chinete atandi gana niat acheningen.
In one of the sub-counties, that's Chema sub-county, we had a number of youth and LCs who came together as a pressure group. These people were just on guard to see if there is a surgeon or traditional practitioner around. They were able to welcome her and in the process confiscate her property. If not, even transport her to the next township.
Chaso dan badela kismendi dibi sagne tale ku cheningen ku kwanye davon sanget kadanga lekko jiwone agonga lekko jismendi no dila dibur wonu bagore di gne.
Sustainability of the program will to a large extent be dependent on the improved education of the girl child and the quality of life in Kapchorwa district.
So it is community partnership with the UNFPA we come up with the REACH program.
We also plan that in each sub-county, the culture day should be celebrated there. We want to take it to the nearest the people as much as possible so that they get freedom to practice their culture, which is valuable, and to bring changes to the community.
Then another thing why I refuse not to go into female circumcision is because female genital circumcision is unhealthy. That's why I've decided to stay minus being circumcised.
The REACH program since inception has had a number of achievements. One very clear thing is that discussing the issue of female genital cutting is no longer a taboo in our community. You can freely discuss, you can freely tell people this is harmful, and it is discussed in bars, it is discussed in schools, in churches, which used to be a taboo before.
Happy mommy, don't mutilate me. Happy grandma.